Darbyshire. We have a quick professional discussion about arrangement. So you filled out your arrangement questionnaire last week, but one before half term. And I think you've got some really great answers here, considering you only started in January, so just over a month ago. At the start of the year in September, I did a few sessions on arrangement with the other students. So considering you've never heard the term before, there's some really, really great answers here. So in your own words, what do you think arrangement is?
Parts of a piece of music.
So can you give any examples of those parts? Verse,
chorus, a rhyme.
Good. So how does it differ from composition? Just in your own words, I know you've answered it here as well, in the questioning.
The composition is the music, the bit that you go off really, and then arrangement's the order that you put your actual composition in.
Kind of, yeah, that's a quite good answer. The way I tend to think of it is that composition is your sort of creative, artistic part, and then the arrangement is your logical, it's almost like you've got two parts of the brain with different functions. So one's the creative side, one's the logical, rational side. I think it's similar to that really. It is a separate process, and often in the industry you'll have a separate person come in and provide different arrangements for compositions and pop songs. It's all about getting into flow really, which is what I've written here. So question 3, I've put why. The question is why might it be a good idea to have several different arrangements, and you put don't know, which is fair enough. And I put here flow is all important. It's all about different environments, suiting different arrangements. So you might have 3 or 4 arrangements of the same pop song. So you've also identified how a rearrangement or remix differs from a cover version as well. You put here a cover is usually a copy of the song played by a different artist, whereas a remix or rearrangement is a different arrangement to the same artist's song.
But when I read it back, I thought, because there's other people like Jessie J, she covers her own songs but in a different style as well. So it's like, just depends, doesn't it, the actual song itself.
Yeah, that's a really, really great answer, yeah. There's another artist that does a lot of that called Lattiziani, who will cover his own songs in a very different way each time. Not necessarily to prove that he's doing it live, but just to make it interesting for the audience. So you named Mark Ronson featuring Amy Winehouse, Valerie is your rearrangement. That's a great example, probably one of the best examples in recent times. And you've put your song lasting 3.5 to 4 minutes with 1 minute for the chorus, or chorus in mind, 1 minute, which is, generally speaking, roughly what you want for a pop song. Then you've identified what makes a good chorus, so catchy, memorable, less complicated than parts of the songs. And I've added a few things here, repetitive and contain song titles. These are really, really simple, straightforward like this. But it's like trying to describe a colour without using the word. So trying to describe blue without... It's really difficult, isn't it? So it's easier to describe a verse once you describe your chorus. So question after question 7, question 8, what's the purpose of the verse? You put explains or builds up the story behind the song leading up to the chorus. So that's a really great answer, but you could argue that a ramp or a bridge, whichever term you prefer, is that as well. Now the difference between a ramp and a bridge really, the difference between a ramp and a chorus or a bridge and a chorus, a bridge and a verse or a ramp and a verse, is the fact that your verse is set in sync chorus and context. But the ramp is a section that is in between those two sections that literally builds us up. So it might have a different chord progression, it might have a slightly different rhythm to it, it might have different words, different harmony, or sometimes just different lyrics, but maybe repeated lyrics. So like the chorus, the ramp is a repeated section. Again, this stuff is very, very subjective. There's no right or wrong, like it says at the top here. So, very last question, how many of the song parts can you name? You put one, which is bridge, which is actually a really good answer because when we had the informal discussion the other week, I gave you loads and loads of different ones here, like intro, outro, ramp, pre-chorus, middle eight, solo, instrumental, all these different terms that are used. Whereas really we've usually only got three main parts to our song: verse, chorus, and then some sort of third section. It could be a bridge or a ramp that's repeated, or it could be a one-off section. We call it a middle eight. The middle eight is not usually in the middle, it's not usually 8 bars long, it's usually about 2/3 of the way through. It's a one-off section that will use it's usually very contrasting to the rest of the song, so you always know that you're in that middle eight. And it just adds enough interest to get back around to your chorus, and that should finish your song in around 4 minutes. So give me some feedback here, some written feedback. And we had the informal discussion the other day that really boils down 99% of pop songs into 2 main arrangements. And are you, in your own words, are you fairly happy with what we did in that discussion?
Yeah.
You understand? Have you started recognising those patterns now on the radio as well?
Yeah, I get to know you more.
Yeah, it's almost like you know.
Turn the radio on.
Yeah. It's almost like you know what's coming. I hope I haven't destroyed music for you. It's one of those things that it's not necessarily selling out or being commercial, it's just being accessible. It's providing things in a way people are used to hearing it. You know, the real artistic and creative things might come from the way you use an instrument or the way you put the words together. That's the more creative stuff. The arrangement is just a way of, just to sum up really, the arrangement is a way of...
Like a template, innit?
Yeah, exactly, yeah, that's a really good word, yeah. I was going to suggest that an arrangement is just a way of presenting your art, basically. So let your creative side come out in your songwriting. So you might write 10 verses for a song, but it's never going to get played on the radio if it's 8 minutes long. You might get on like BBC Radio 6 or proper music stations, but for your average pop station, you just won't play it. So arrangement is quite tricky because it's like really condensing it down. Just as a final point, the way I describe arrangement to people who don't understand the difference between arrangement and songwriting is like if you've written a book, it might have taken you 3, 4, 5 years to get all your information down in a relatively logical order. But after you've done all that, you're so engrossed in the artistic process that you can't possibly arrange it, you can't possibly present that information to someone in a way that who's never heard it before, in a way that would well, you would be able to do that, but what I'm trying to get at is you would usually employ an editor to come in and divide it all into chapters for you.
Yeah,
take out the bits.
fresh eyes, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah, fresh eyes, yeah. Quite right, yeah. You got any other questions or comments about arrangement? You're quite happy? It's something to think about in a TV show with billionaire and stuff.